G'day everybody, welcome again to another subscriber special video. Thank you so much guys for 100 subs. Actually, as of editing, I think we're more like at 150 or maybe even 160 or something like that. But anyway, I figure this time around we'll do a classic, and that is the Espresso Martini. So let's get to it. Alright, let's talk about the tools first and foremost. So we're going to need a few things here. Since this drink is going to be shaken, you're going to need a shaking tin. And next up, you're going to need a couple of types of strainers. I recommend a Hawthorne strainer and a mesh strainer. Then grab yourself something to measure liquid in. In my case, I've got a cocktail jigger. And finally, you're going to want something to make an espresso with. Now, I've got myself an espresso machine at home, but you can use whatever method suits you the most. Now, just remember though, that the quality of your cocktail is going to be as good as the quality of your espresso. Okay, now let's talk about the booze and the other ingredients. I'm using a vodka called Haku, which is pretty straightforward and does the job for me. We also want some coffee liqueur. I'm using one called Mr. Black. This so happens to be produced in Australia and I would highly recommend it. Next, you want some coffee to make an espresso. Use whatever coffee suits your taste. Just make sure you reserve a few coffee beans on the side. Last but not least, definitely have some simple syrup handy. I've got this simple syrup which is made from 1-to-1 water and sugar. Let's talk glassware. You want a small glass to keep your espresso in, and of course a martini glass as well. Chuck that martini glass in the freezer to start chilling. Alright, it's time to get started. Let's firstly make ourselves an espresso. Now, I'm just showing you what I normally do guys using the espresso machine that I have at home, but obviously you guys are just gonna make the espresso whichever way you see fit. Just make sure that you prepare 1 to 1.5 ounces of fresh espresso. Once it's ready, I would highly recommend leaving this to sit for a little bit just to cool off. Once your espresso is ready and already cooled down, it's time to start building this cocktail. Let's get to it. Alright, first up, the espresso. Measure out 1 to 1.5 ounces of fresh espresso. You want about 1 ounce of your coffee liqueur. Next up, we'll sweeten things a little bit by measuring out 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Next, the most important ingredient, our vodka. Let's put in a couple of ounces of vodka. Last but not least, get your ice into the shaking tin. Next up comes the fun part. Close your shaking tin and give this thing a really good shake, preferably around 10 to 15 seconds or to your heart's content. Once you're done shaking, get the tin separated and grab your pre-chilled martini glass. Grab your Hawthorne strainer and your mesh strainer and double strain that drink into your martini glass. Beautiful. And last but not least, grab the coffee beans that you reserved earlier and pick out the best ones for garnish. Carefully place them on top of the foam. I'm doing them in the center, but you can choose to place them on the side. It's up to you. And there we have it, guys. A classic espresso martini. A perfect pick-me-up after a long day's work. And there we are. Cheers. Ooh, yeah, that's really good. Hope you guys give this one a try. If you do, make sure you drink responsibly. A quick thank you to all of my viewers and subscribers. Thank you very much for being part of the channel. Your encouragement, positive comments, and your support means the world to me. Cheers to you.